we're almost there. So now we're on page 5 of 6. I want you to try to see, okay, the one that says x squared minus 4 over x squared minus x minus 6. Pause the video right now. In a few minutes, once you think you have it, you can check your answers. So I'm going to explain, because each time you can pause once you try to do each part. So try to do vertical asymptote. Hit pause. Okay, your vertical asymptote should be x equals 3, and there should be a hole at negative 2 comma 4/5. When you factor top and bottom, top you get x plus 2, x minus 2, bottom x minus 3, x plus 2. If you set both factors in the denominator equal to 0, you get x equals 3, x equals negative 2. So something's going on there. Is it a hole or is it an entire vertical line that's dotted? So at negative 2, we know there's going to be a hole because that factor cancels out. So I write negative 2 comma. I plug negative 2 into the simplified equation. So when we cross out the x plus 2 factors, I plug negative 2 into the simplified version. So negative 2 minus 2 over negative 2 minus 3, and I get out negative 4 over negative 5, which is positive 4/5. So I did a hole on the graph at that spot. Then at x equals 3, that factor didn't cancel out, so I do an entire dotted vertical line at x equals 3. Take a second, try to figure out what the horizontal asymptote is, pause the video, then look at my answer. Okay, so for horizontal asymptote, since the degree on top is 2, degree on bottom is 2, it's leading coefficient over leading coefficient, so 1 over 1 is 1. So y equals 1 is that horizontal dotted asymptote. Take a second to try to find the x-intercepts and y-intercepts. Pause the video now, resume when you think you have the answer. So to find the x-intercept, you put 0 in for y. The denominator cancels when you multiply sides by denominator. Then you get 0 is x squared minus 4. You add 4, take square root of both sides, you get plus and minus 2. That's where we'll have dots on the x-axis at negative 2 and 2. Some of you might wonder, well, wait, I have a hole at negative 2 4/5, and then I have a dot on x negative 2. You can't have both. You're going to cross off on x negative 2. If you have a hole in that same spot, that hole exists, okay? So then for y-intercept, if you plug 0 in for x, you should get negative 4 over negative 6. And when you simplify, that's positive 2/3. So on the y-axis, I did a dot at about 2/3. Okay, now take a sec and use your graphing calculator. Always do the original equation, parentheses around the top, divided by parentheses around the bottom. I would look at the graph. I would hit zoom standard, go to the table, second table, and then look for some ordered pairs. Remember, you want to have negative 2 and 3 in your table because those are some areas where we're going to have errors, and then plug in some values between and on both sides. And you will get, I got negative 3, 5, 6, negative 2 error, 0, 2/3, 3 error, and I got 4, 2. Okay, so now for slant asymptotes. Slant asymptotes right here, it tells you what to do. It kind of shows you a picture, right? So a slant asymptote will be an equation y equals some kind of equation of a line, like y equals x plus 1. It's not going to be y equals a number or x equals a number. So this is an example of a slant asymptote. You can have a slant asymptote as well as horizontal and vertical asymptotes. So for horizontal and vertical, you're going to do the same thing. But for a slant, what you do is you take we're going to do long division, and we're going to take the top and divide it by the bottom. So let's try for the next problem. So go to page 6. And just for sake of time, at this point, I've kind of explained how to do everything else. So you can also watch some other, YouTube tutorial videos if you're still a little confused. But I'm just going to explain how to do the slant asymptotes on the last page. So what we're going to do for our slant asymptotes is, because the degree on top, for example 5a, degree on top is squared and the degree on bottom is 1, we're going to see what our slant asymptotes are. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the top, 3x squared plus 1, we're going to divide it by the bottom. And this is long division. You guys learned this in Algebra 2. So leading term, 3x squared, divided by x, front term, gets us 3x. So we'll put that on top. Then we do 3x times x is 3x squared. We subtract. and nothing is left. So on top, y equals 3x is going to be our slant asymptote. So we can do our slant asymptote, and I'm just going to do a rough sketch. So if I plugged in 0, y equals 3x, so 3 times 0 is 0. If I do 1, 3 times 1 is 3, so I'll do a dot at 1, 3. And you can just draw that dotted line, y equals 3x. Okay, is there a horizontal asymptote? Vertical asymptote. So horizontal, there's going to be none because the degree on top is larger than the degree on bottom. And then the vertical asymptote, if I set the denominator equal to 0, I'll get x equals 0. So for this one, wait, did I screw this up? H-O-Y, y. So horizontal, H-O-Y, and vertical, x0. Oh yeah, okay, we're good. So x0, H-O-Y. When we end up doing this, yeah, we end up seeing a picture that looks something like this. Okay. Okay, so now let's try our slant asymptote for the other one. I want you to change the problem for B to y equals x squared plus 3x plus 2 over x minus 2. If you want to put in your quick calculator, parentheses on top divided by parentheses on bottom. Okay, so our slant asymptote for this, we're going to do long division. So we'll do x squared plus 3x plus 2 divided by x minus 2. So leading term divided by leading term. So x squared divided by x is equal to x. So we'll put that on top. And then x times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. We subtract. So the x squareds cancel. 3x minus negative 2x is 5x. 5x plus 2. Then again, we take leading term. So 5x divided by x. Leading divided by leading. And we get 5. Okay, so 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. Subtract. So we have 2 minus negative 10, so that's positive 12. Okay, we're not going to include a remainder, so we're just going to write y equals x plus 5. I'll do a rough sketch of this slant asymptote. So we have 0, 5. If we have negative 1, 4. And I'm just going to do a dotted. Okay, so we're good for that. So next up, we're going to have a vertical asymptote at x equals 2 if we set the denominator equal to 0 and solve. So we get vertical x2. There's not going to be a horizontal asymptote because the degree on top's larger than degree on bottom. And then when we go to draw this, it's going to look something like this. So an asymptote. And I think it looks something like that. Okay, so there we go. Is that the last page? Yeah, we're done for today. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you need to go under the assignments tab and hit the assessments and search for the 2.6 worksheet. Remember, either print it out, do it on that piece of paper, or you can do it on a separate sheet of paper. Then you need to upload the file to that same area and hit hand in and submit. We're going to add your grade to PowerSchool for points. Remember, this is due by tomorrow evening. So if your class is today, Monday, because you're an E-Day block, then it's due on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. If you are following along on Tuesday the 17th, then it's due on Wednesday by 6 p.m. to get full credit. Please email us if you're having any issues after this first assignment so we can resolve this quickly before the next lesson. Okay, talk to y'all soon.